A very good evening to all of you. Today we would be talking about the net result and the analysis for it. So a lot of you have already applied for the net examination and had appeared for this year. The idea is the students have a common confusion. What is the difference between percentile and what is the difference between the cutoff? So we'll be understanding that with a simple way. The idea is when you are applying for your UGC NET examination, the criteria is 6% of those candidates who are of the total number of students. So let's say 100 students appear, so 6 students out of 100 students would qualify for NET exam if they have a qualifying percentage in both paper 1 as well as their subject paper. So that's the criteria. Aggregate, they are qualifying with 40% marks for unreserved and they are 6% within the 6% range. Now, when you have your scorecards with you, what do you get? You get the percentile score. Now, what do you need to understand? Whether you need to talk about percentiles or cutoff marks. So, we'll have an idea about it in a while. The idea is percentile, when I say, let's say, here we have for economics, unreserved category, the cutoff percentile for assistant professor is 97 percentile. 97 percentile means 3% of the total students who have appeared are above you or at your level. Okay, that means 97% of the students who have appeared fall below the curve. So it's just how you grade onto the curve. And the same goes for JRF. If I say 99, that means of the total number of students who have applied in the subject of economics, how many students would be in the top 1%? So 99 percentile means those in the top 1% and 99% below the remaining. So that is what is percentile, which is seen on your scorecard. Now, here we have another column, total. This total actually represents the number of students who have qualified for assistant professor. So across each subject, there are different categories. So unreserved, EWS, economically weaker, OBC, then you have SC, ST, PWD. Within PWD, you have the unreserved, reserved, OBC, SC, ST. So there are various categories for each subject. The cutoff percentile across each subject has been given. Now, do you need to go for the cutoff percentile? I would recommend it's a good idea to go for the cutoff marks. Now again, these cutoff marks are not sufficient in itself. For example, for philosophy unreserved, which is in the first list, we have assistant professor cutoff at 200. Now, paper 1 has 50 questions, paper 2 has 100 questions. What is important to understand is 2 marks for each question. So 100 marks for paper 1, 200 marks for paper 2, which is your optional philosophy in this case. So total there is 300 marking of paper. Now this 300 marks of paper, when I say I am securing 200 out of it, right? On securing 200, I am able to qualify for NET in philosophy. However, for JRF, I have to have 226 marks. That means 13 more questions that need to be correct, right? So that's just to give you a brief idea about what you should think for. So here we have the subjects. Across various subjects, the cutoff list for philosophy, psychology and each of the subject is given. So you need to go through each of the subject and the respective cutoff list, and this would give you a clear idea. For example, in psychology, it was 210 in contrast to 236. So across every subject for unreserved, if we talk, the cutoffs vary. When you are preparing for your NET examination, understand there is not a huge gap. The gap is just how many? 26 marks here. Now 26 marks again means 13 questions, right? So where can you gain these 13 questions? You can either gain those in paper 1. So those who are good at subject can gain that in paper 1. Those who are good at paper 1 can gain them in the subject. So those who have already qualified for your NET and appearing for your JRF next time, so June again you are going to have the next set of exam. It's really recommended that you go through the content very properly and understand that cutoff should be just in your mind. That means if the cutoff says 200 out of 300, that means I am able to solve how many questions correct? 100 questions out of 150 questions. So 100 questions in your optional, 50 questions in your paper 1, total 150 question. If you are able to do around 100 questions encompassing both those and you belong to unreserved category, probably you have a edge. But if you are a good student and you should target to nearly 120. So if you are able to target somewhere around 120 correct for your paper 1 as well as paper 2 combined, then you have a clear say for your net qualification, and definitely you would be among the border case for your JRF, right? For JRF, we have seen that you need to secure somewhere around 130 correct. So if you say 130 correct, that's considered as a safe score. So I hope the idea that we were trying to bring in gets very clear. And this session was to have an awareness among students that what you should actually go for. A lot of students go for percentile and say that when I'm having 97.2 percentile, I was unable to qualify. My another friend with 97.25 was able to qualify. So I'm just left with 0.05. So it's actually not 0.05 because it's not percent, it's percentile. So you need to have a clear difference between the terms, and your focus across all things that we have discussed should be securing somewhere around 120 out of 150 correct, and that should be your target in mind. Across any category you belong, if you are getting that much marks, you have a safe score, and if you have a safe score, definitely you have a bright chance for your net JRF. So this was our session for today, and we would be joining back again. The lists have already been declared, Adiba. So you can just check out your scorecards on the UGC official website, and the cutoffs have been released again for the subject-wise categories. So we have those for philosophy, psychology, sociology, and all the subjects which are given here. So you can just check the subject here and get an understanding of the cutoff. I hope the session was useful, and as always, we would be having a series of lectures for expected topics before your June examination. So definitely keep us on track for the latest updates. Wish you very good luck, and those who have qualified, congratulations to all of you. Those who are appearing again for your JRF for your June session, prepare well and target, as I said, somewhere around 130 for a safe score. So keep yourself on a safe bet, and that would be a good idea to prepare for your JRF. One good way to approach this is practice as much as possible. So that is one of the best options. I hope the thing was clear. Thanks for joining in. Wish you very good luck. Have a wonderful evening.